Hello and welcome to the tutorial for the GarloTEC Digital to Analog Converter Shield. It allows you to remotely control two separate 0 to 10 volt outputs from within your Home Assistant environment. We will go over the necessary components, the flashing of the D1 Mini, the integration into Home Assistant, and a final functionality check. Let us start with the necessary components. First, we need the GarloTEC Digital to Analog Converter Shield. It can either be the shield designed for holding the D1 Mini, or the Nano ESP32. Both exhibit the exact same functionality. Throughout this tutorial, we will use the D1 Mini version. Second, we need a D1 Mini module. This particular module is a version 4.0 and features a USB-C socket. Third, we will use a USB-C socket to power the module. You can also simply power the module from the USB-C socket connected to the D1 Mini. And last, we need a USB to USB-C cable to connect the D1 Mini to a computer and flash it. We will start by flashing the D1 Mini with the provided YAML file from the GarloTEC GitHub repository. Connect the D1 Mini to your computer. Open the URL and download the necessary YAML file for your product version. On Linux, you can simply use the WG command and the link to the YAML file on GitHub to download the file into a folder on your computer. Open the file in an editor of your choice. We are using Nano here, and edit the Wi-Fi SSID and password strings. You might want to edit other settings, too. But this is not required for the module to work. You can also change the I2C address if you flip the dip switch on the board accordingly. Next, make sure to have ESP-Home installed and use the run command to compile the YAML file and flash it onto the D1 Mini. When asked, select option number 1 USB serial to flash the device. Once flashing has been done, disconnect the D1 Mini from your computer. Connect the USB-C socket to the shield. The screw terminal labels are indicating VCC and ground input. We are now checking for the expected voltage on the shield. The input needs to be 5V. Once confirmed that we have the correct input voltage applied, plug the D1 Mini into the shield. Pay attention to the orientation, which is indicated on the shield. The pins need to map correctly, as you will otherwise damage the microcontroller. We are now checking the log output of the D1 Mini module. Here, we find that an I2C microcontroller has been found. This step is optional. Once the D1 Mini connects to your Wi-Fi, Home Assistant should automatically pick it up and suggest a new integration. Simply click on Configure to import the new device. You are now ready to go. The Shield can now be controlled from within Home Assistant. We are setting the outputs to 40% and 80% respectively to check the voltage on the board later on. Should the integration have not been automatically discovered, we are able to manually add it to Home Assistant. For this, we need the IP address of the device, which you can find in your router network configuration. Search for an option called DHCP, and look for a device called GarloTEC DAC Lite. Once you have found the IP address, go to Home Assistant and click on Add Integration, select ESP Home, and enter the IP address of the device. We are setting the outputs to 40% and 80% respectively to check the voltage on the board during the next step. Since we have set the first output to 40%, we observe 4.0 volts at the first output terminal. Additionally, we have set the second output to 80%, which is why the second output terminal reports 8.0 volts. This concludes our tutorial. We wish you a lot of fun with your new GarloTEC Digital to Analog Converter Shield. Make sure to check out our other products and happy building.